Hi everyone, welcome back to Coach Chioma. This is Chioma Okechukwu, and today we are starting our very first series on overcoming life's storms. And today's video, we're going to talk about the very first principle when you are faced with a major challenge in your life. And that principle is for us to remain calm. Before we move forward, I want to just read a definition of what being calm looks like, what it actually means, and then we'll dive right into the video. So to be calm, it refers to a state of tranquility, a state of serenity, a state of peacefulness, and it's characterized by a lack of agitation, disturbance, or turmoil. It can also denote a sense of composure and emotional stability, even in the face of challenges or stressful situations. Now, I don't know about you guys, okay, but for me, remaining calm, like, are you serious? It is not something that is easy to do. Sometimes it's not easy to identify someone who's actually calm, because you can be someone who is going through a lot of pain and exhibiting just a lot of just emotional, just pain. And then you can also be someone who's going through a lot of pain, but when I look at you, you're detached from your emotions and just carrying on, but that chaos is still working in the background in your body. I really believe that a sense of calmness, that actually comes when we understand that we will be okay through it all. And that level of understanding can only come from our trust in God. So in order for us to remain calm, it does require that very first thing, which is for us to trust God. While going through this storm, I was not calm in the beginning. I was not calm at all. And in fact, for many of you guys, I would say that remaining calm is probably it almost feels impossible, because whatever you're going through is causing so much pain. I don't think that God really expects us to just not feel our feelings. I think it's very safe to feel our feelings in a safe space. I think the reason why being calm is so important is so that we don't make decisions that are rash, or we don't make decisions from that place of turbulence and agitation. If you're going through a sense of just agitation, frustration, emotional just instability, your body is spilling out a ton of cortisol. And cortisol is the primary stress hormone, and it does a lot of damage. And that high amount of cortisol, it can affect the heart. It can actually cause a broken heart syndrome. It can spill and affect and cause your immune system to move into overdrive. You can start having manifestations on your skin, like skin rashes, itching. It can even cause severe pain. You will start noticing a lot of just stress sometimes around your shoulders. You might notice a lot of pain and pressure in your chest. For some of us, it actually causes issues in our gastrointestinal system. So we start having diarrhea, sometimes we'll have constipation, nausea, a lack of appetite. High stress hormones cause a lot of damage. So the advice, the biblical wisdom of remaining calm has a lot to do with the health of not just your physical body, but your spiritual, your emotional, and your psychological states. I believe that remaining calm helps to keep you in a state of zen, and at least in a state of equilibrium. For those of us who were not able to remain calm, like myself, that's also okay. It is okay. Because remaining calm does not mean neglecting your emotions. I don't believe that Christ really expects us to not be honest with our emotional states. I don't believe that the goal is for us to pretend that these emotions do not exist. If anything, there is a Bible verse, Matthew 11:28, and it says that this is Christ talking to us, and it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened." There are other Bible verses that would say, "You who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." So I believe that that sense of calm that is required of us is a sense of peace that can only come from Christ himself. And Christ actually invites us to bring all those emotions to him. So in the beginning, when I went through this emotional, just unstable, and I said I almost lost myself, I can tell you that the danger came when I couldn't find a sense of calm and peace. And what I believe that the devil started to do was he started to play with that unstable emotional state, which was why I was very susceptible to those negative thoughts that started coming in. And those negative thoughts surrounded a feeling of just me not being worthy, not being important. I wasn't someone that was wanted or desired. I was being abandoned. I was being discarded. And because I had all these feelings, again, I was so susceptible to that feeling of maybe I shouldn't even be here. You know, maybe no one actually wants me. And the truth about the matter is that those thoughts were not even my thoughts. Because I was already in a space where I was prayerful, I was singing and listening to a lot of gospel music, I was leaning into family. I believe that that's why, and with the help of the Holy Spirit primarily, that I was able to capture those thoughts, and I was able to identify that these thoughts are not mine because I don't think those thoughts. And immediately that happened, not just going back to the Bible, but calling on my friends, calling on my family, and just pouring all that grief and letting them know how I was feeling, being extremely honest about how I was feeling, how I was mentally with them. And then we all identified, at least my sister specifically identified, you're going through a heartbreak. And because you're going through a heartbreak, everything that has to do with a broken heart, all the negative feelings, your body, your mind, everything starts to look into your life, to look for things to actually validate that feeling of just being broken. But all I needed was to move myself into an environment where love could be poured into me. And there's a Bible verse that I believe supports this. And it's Ecclesiastes chapter 4 from verse 9 to 10. And it says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. I'm going to try to pull up another verse that also talks about the importance of your community and drawing them in. This is Proverbs 27:17, and it says, as iron sharpens iron, so man sharpens the countenance of his friend. When it comes to finding that sense of calm and finding that sense of peace, that there are 2 specific things that we need to focus on. Number 1, in order for us to feel that peace, which is a peace that only God can give, we experience the love of God in our relationships with our friends, our close friends, and our family. So it's really important to lean into them, because in those moments when you're weary, in those moments when you're weak, in those moments when you feel like you just don't have the strength to move forward, lean on them and they can help pick you up. Secondly, lean into Christ and let him take all those emotions on, and then you receive the rest that he has for you. I wanted to leave you with one thing. In the beginning of a storm, in the beginning when you are met with that, whatever the information is that has been given to you, you're pregnant, maybe you've been trying to have a child and then you're told, hey, you lost a child, you're having a miscarriage. Maybe it is you've been working so hard for this job, you've done multiple interviews, you've already started acting from a place of faith and probably putting a notice on your lease and making decisions based on this job that you believe you're going to get, and then you get that final call that you didn't get it. Whatever the pain is, whatever the source of that pain is, a lot of the times the first 2 weeks are the most crucial weeks. That is where there is this intense pain that you feel, and a lot of the times that's when a lot of bad decisions are made. So remain calm, not just for your own health, but also for the health of your future. My dogs are getting fed. My favorite thing to say is just being very mindful, so that when you're in the midst of your turmoil, when you're in the midst of chaos, when there's a lot of noise just going around in your head or even in your environment, and you need to make a decision, you want to be careful. A lot of the times it's so important for you to just stand still and do absolutely nothing. Just do nothing. Do nothing but feel the pain that you're feeling, feel the loss that you're feeling, do nothing. Eventually, you can make a decision when you have crossed the storm. And that way, the decision you're making is from a place of sanity, it's from a place of emotional stability, and it's also from a place of clarity. If you make a decision when you're in that storm, the decision that you're making might be a permanent decision due to a temporary problem. I want to share a couple of more tips that I actually did that helped me tremendously. If you're not one that is so good with self-care, begin a lot of self-care practices. It helps. Sometimes you might not even have the strength to participate in self-care, but it is tremendously helpful. Tub baths, classical music, be one with your body. Feel your body receive the care that it needs. Sometimes that is all that we need in order to get ourselves back into ourselves rather than flailing because of our environmental changes. Bye guys, have a good one. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. And if there's anyone that you think will benefit from these videos, click that share button and share with them. Remember that you can reach out to me via email at hello@coachchioma.com, and you can follow me on Instagram @coachchioma. Bye guys, have a good one.